Hello everyone, this is Trevor Lowe, the pixel artist and designer on Indiepogo, here to give you a rundown of Orcane's moveset. We pretty much went back to square one since we weren't super happy with his kit during the Kickstarter. Keeping his puddle teleporting ability as the center, we found something we're quite pleased with. His up arrow is what creates a puddle. It can be aimed directly up or to the side. Pressing up and A second time has him teleport to the puddle. And of course, Orcane can damage enemies he comes into contact with when he reappears. However, since Indiepogo is very aerial and is always in motion, this attack isn't very easy to hit with, so we took a small liberty. Hitting an enemy with the droplet makes them wet, meaning Orcane can teleport directly onto them, dealing half the damage. Enemies also have the ability to touch the ground, which leaves the puddle where they land. Therefore, they still have the opportunity to evade an attack. Orcane's neutral aerial is pretty standard. It's a variation of his Dare in Rivals. Because his puddle teleporting gives him very little upward attacking ability, we allow Orcane to fire off in a short burst in any direction. Essentially, it's a nice physical attack that's great as a finishing move. Now his down aerial is perhaps his most versatile attack and gives skilled players quite a few options. Orcane must press and hold down A to dive. Releasing A early has him spit bubbles, changing his trajectory. The farther he dives, the more movement he gets from the bubbles. He can aim them in a downward range of 180 degrees. A well-aimed attack has the potential to do tons of chip damage. Bubbles stun foes in their tracks and push them away from Orcane. This can be useful for pushing players ever closer to one of his puddles so he can chain up a combo. He can also use his movements to bash foes with his moveset. If Orcane chooses not to release A before he reaches the ground, he will smack into it, leaving a puddle in his place. And if there is a puddle already on the map, he will dive into his new puddle and quickly pop out of the prior one, giving him the ability to quickly take advantage of disoriented foes. The bubbles that surround him help protect him where he reappears, but they're not a perfect shield, so timing his teleport is the key to mastering his moveset. I enjoy that Orcane is becoming a trickster character for Indiepogo, even more so than we first intended, yet he isn't too unfair or unpredictable. Oh, we also allow him to drop through floating platforms when he uses his dive teleport. That gives him even more ways to surprise enemies. The water spout was the only real choice for Orcane's grounded charge attack. We changed things up a bit from Rivals to match other characters in Indiepogo, where the longer he charges, the higher his spout reaches. When releasing A, players have a short window of time where they can aim its trajectory. We also turned it into a multi-hit attack that pushes fighters in the direction of the spout. It's a great tool for edge guarding or for keeping foes out of reach. And of course, he wouldn't be complete if he couldn't absorb his puddle. Here, he does increased damage when the puddle has been absorbed. Like the other fighters, he has the ability to use parkour, which consists of rolling around, leaping out of rolls, wall sliding, and jumping off walls. The only aspect of Orcane left to implement is his super attack. Long story short, we're currently waiting on another feature to be complete before finalizing his attack. Basically, we just want to make sure we can maintain enough attack variety across the board. Oh, and as of right now, Orcane is the only character to have unique dodging animations that are dependent on the direction being traveled. Pretty spiffy, huh? So what do you think of our version of Orcane?
Personally, I think he turned out really well. In the hands of a skilled player, his 2 teleports make him an absolutely deadly fighter.
And I almost forgot, we have alternate costumes to show off. I tried my best to match the original palettes as closely as possible.